Yaskin Corlia, the housing crisis is worsening every day that this government is in office. More and more young people are being forced to live at home with their parents, well into their 30s now, or to take the choice to immigrate. More and more people, working people, as they get closer to retirement, are being locked into insecure and overpriced rental market, and they're fearful for their future. We've had contact from one of these persons who has a good job at a Dublin hospital. The person's in their 30s, a good salary, but she can't find a single place to live that is somewhat even reasonable. Most of the apartments in the area are nearly €2,000 a month, and that doesn't include the bills. And this person tells us that they are completely hopeless. She says that the situation they and so many of her generation face has been created by successive governments allowing the few to profit off her generation and lock them out of any sense of stability. And I completely agree with her, because your government is failing, and is failing to deliver the genuine affordable homes that working people need. It's widely acknowledged now, Taoiseach, widely acknowledged that your housing targets are far too low, wholly inadequate to meet the need of the actual demand of housing right across the state. And yet, despite all of this, your government refused to increase housing investment above these inadequate targets in the recent budget. And each year, you fail to even reach those targets. You keep telling us that you have the most comprehensive housing plan in the history of the state. You keep telling us that you're spending more and more money on social and affordable homes than ever before. But yet, when you look deep into the facts, the reality is very different. This year, €4 billion was to be spent to deliver 14,500 social and genuinely affordable homes. But today we learn, at the end of September, less than half of this allocation has been spent. So what does this mean? It means that thousands of affordable homes for working people that your government promised will not be delivered this year, just like last year and the year before and the year before. In fact, figures from the Minister for Housing show just how bad that your government is doing. By June of this year, only 15% of the social homes that were promised had been delivered, and only 123 out of the 4,400 affordable homes that were promised had been delivered. 123 affordable homes, Taoiseach, and not a single affordable home delivered by the Land Development Agency. So, Taoiseach, if you want to figure out why house prices and rents are rising, then this is the reason. This is why house prices and rents are rising. This is why homelessness is rising. This is why people feel hopeless, like that woman who works in a Dublin hospital who can't find anywhere to live. This is why your plan is failing. The housing targets need to be increased. It needs to start with the delivery of 21,000 social and genuinely affordable homes next year. The expenditure ceilings for housing delivery need to be increased, and the red tape needs to be cut to ensure local authorities and approved housing bodies can deliver homes at pace and at scale. The response from government needs to meet the scale of the emergency that is right across the state. So will you finally accept, Taoiseach, that your plan is failing? It is failing that worker in the Dublin hospital. It is failing the people who are in Dublin airport at this minute. It is failing the people who are in emergency accommodation. It is failing those who are locked out of home ownership and those who are locked into extortionate rents. Will you finally acknowledge that it's failing and churn course?
I would say to you, Deputy, that you're wrong, and no shouting and roaring is going to change the fact that this government has significantly turned the dial in relation to house construction, in terms of over 30,000 houses constructed last year, and we will exceed targets again this year, and commencements, as in the newspapers this morning, up 14% on last year, and completions up 14% on last year's. And Sinn Féin don't have a comprehensive housing plan. You have nothing but a collection of sound bites and a few pages. You haven't put in the hard work. And when it comes to young people in this country, look at Sinn Féin policies. You don't do anything for first-time buyers. Your policies are anti-first-time buyers. You would get rid of the Help to Buy scheme. 42,000 young buyers benefited from the Help to Buy scheme. You opposed the First Home scheme, which allows 30% state equity in houses for younger people to buy those houses. 2,500 have benefited it this year. If you had your way, they would not be able to avail of that particular scheme. And the grants we've made available in terms of vacant houses or houses that are derelict, 50,000 and 70,000 respectively. You've opposed that as well and voted against it.